You've probably seen the headlines about a virus with a terrifyingly high fatality rate. We're talking as high as 75%. It's called Nipah. So today we're going to break down what it is, why it keeps popping up, and what the real risk is to all of us. Let's get into it. Right, so after being off the radar for a few years, a virus known for being incredibly severe is back in the news. And once you see the numbers, you'll understand exactly why everyone's paying attention. This is it. This is the number that demands our attention. According to the CDC, some outbreaks of Nipah have had a fatality rate of up to 75%. Just think about that for a second. That's potentially 3 out of every 4 people infected. It's a statistic that immediately tells you just how serious this is. So why the sudden buzz about Nipah right this very moment? Well, it all comes down to a recent cluster of cases that has put the entire global health community on high alert. The current alert started with 2 confirmed cases in India. Now, 2 might not sound like a lot, but here's the crucial part. Both were healthcare workers. That's a huge red flag. It's triggered way more surveillance in the region, and yeah, the CDC is now actively monitoring the situation. To really get a handle on the risk here, we need to understand the virus itself. So let's ask the basic questions. What is Nipah exactly? Where did it even come from? And how does it get around? Okay, so at its heart, Nipah is a zoonotic disease. You're going to hear that term a lot. All it means is that it's a disease that jumps from animals to people. It's the same story for a lot of the world's most dangerous diseases, and Nipah is a textbook and very potent example. And this virus isn't new, not at all. It was first identified way back in 1999 during an outbreak that hit Malaysia and Singapore. The first cases were linked to pig farmers, which gave us our first big clue. But when scientists traced it all the way back, they found the original source, the natural host, fruit bats. So here's how the whole chain of infection usually works. It starts with those infected fruit bats. They pass it along to other animals, with pigs being a common example. Then humans can get it from being around these infected animals. And this is the really critical part. It doesn't have to stop there. Nipah can then spread directly from one person to another through close contact. Okay, so we know how it jumps from host to host. But what happens when a person actually gets infected? What does this thing actually do to the human body? And this is where it gets really sneaky. The first symptoms look, well, incredibly common. We're talking fever, headache, a cough. It looks almost exactly like the flu or any other bug going around. And that makes it so hard to diagnose in those critical early days. But this is where the story takes a very sharp, very dangerous turn. That flu-like phase is just the beginning. The virus can escalate with terrifying speed. The progression is just devastatingly fast. The virus goes for the nervous system, causing disorientation, seizures, and something called encephalitis, which is a really dangerous swelling of the brain. And get this, according to the CDC, a person can go from those early symptoms to a coma in as little as 24 to 48 hours. Which brings us back to this absolutely chilling number. The fatality rate can shift from one outbreak to the next, but the range is somewhere between 40% and 75%. And even for the people who manage to survive, many are left with long-term neurological problems. So the takeaway is clear. This is an incredibly severe disease. All right, so when you hear about a virus this deadly, the natural question is, could this become the next big thing? How worried should we be about this spreading all over the world? So what do the experts think? Well, here's a quote from Dr. Diana Finkel, who says the risk of Nipah going global is very unlikely. And the main reason is that it just doesn't spread as easily as something like the flu or COVID. So far, the outbreaks have tended to stay contained in specific areas. Part of what makes this virus so scary is that we don't have a specific drug for it. Right now, the only treatment is supportive care. Basically, rest, fluids, and managing the symptoms. But there is some hope on the horizon. A new monoclonal antibody treatment has finished early trials, and remdesivir, a drug you might have heard of from COVID, has shown some promise in animal studies. So if the virus isn't spreading easily across the globe, why does it feel like it keeps popping up? And this right here leads us to a much bigger question about our relationship with the world around us. Dr. Peter Rabinowitz from the University of Washington just frames the whole problem perfectly with this question. It's not just about the bat.
It's about why the bat is suddenly showing up where people live. And the answer has everything to do with our changing planet.
The short answer is it's us. Our activities are a huge driver. As we clear more and more forests and our cities get bigger, we're literally pushing animals like fruit bats out of their homes and into ours. That forced contact, made worse by climate change, just dramatically ups the odds of a virus like Nipah making that jump.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty sobering thought. Nipah isn't just some random, unlucky outbreak. It's really a symptom of a much larger problem. It's a powerful reminder that our own health is completely tied to the health of our planet. As we keep changing the natural world, the real question isn't if another threat will emerge from the wild, but what it will be, and whether we'll be ready when it does.